So hello out there, everybody, and welcome back to Just a Thought. I'm Joseph Tudisco, and of course we will be presenting session 10 of Acting Like a Business. So I kind of want to pick up a little bit where I left off with session 9. We discussed the work and some terminology with the callbacks and et cetera, et cetera. So today, session 10. We're going to deal with casting directors. We're going to deal with getting the breakdowns, the actors who get the breakdowns under the table. We're going to talk about that. And of course, picking up from last session, session 9, a terminology that I hadn't touched on. It's called first refusals. Now, a lot of actors, and that's where I'm going to start, first refusals. A lot of actors are confused as to what a first refusal is. It took me a while to kind of grasp it and understand it. First refusals usually pertain, not all the time, but 99% of the time, usually pertain to commercials or print. Now, I'm going to have a whole session on print very shortly. But a first refusal is a status that the casting director puts you on as the actor after you've gone to the audition or you've gone to a go-see for a print campaign. A go-see is like an audition, but they're really going there and they're going to take pictures, and then the ad agencies will determine whether you're the right look, right image, and whatnot. But what happens is if they like you and they're strongly considering you, they will call your agent or call you and put you on a first refusal. Now, it's their first refusal, not yours, okay? It's a status that they put you on that you, as an actor, have to honor once you accept it. Now, what the first refusal is saying that we want to use you on April 10th. We need you to commit to that day. Now, it's not a booking. It's not locking you in, and it's not an offer. But they may have 1 or 2 people or 3 people that they're strongly considering, and they want to make sure that you're available and you're committed to that day when they make their decision. Now, if you're agent and you're signed with an agent, he'll know what all that means. But if you're freelancing with agents and managers, and one agent submitted you to this first refusal casting director, which they put you on, and a second separate manager or agent submits you for something and you get called in and they want to use you on the same day, you cannot accept that work. You would need to tell the agent or the manager or the casting director that you can give them a second refusal, that you have a first refusal for that date for someone else. Okay, now that may seem a little unfair to you if the second refusal wants to book you. But if the second refusal wants to book you, and let me just clarify that, as a second refusal, that will become a first refusal. Refusal. I'm getting a little crazy here. When the first casting director releases you from your commitment, then that second will now become a first. But what happens if that second wants to use you and they want to book you and they offer you the job? You have got to go back to the casting director, either you or your agent or manager, and you have to tell them, I have a booking pending on April 10th. I need you to either book me or release me. So you're giving them the first refusal on that date. Now, they will say you're booked, then you can't do the other one. No matter what it is, if it's a higher job, a higher paying job, you may get an agent or a manager that might be able to manipulate that, but in theory, your code of ethics as an actor, you have to honor that first refusal should they want to book you. They might release you, and then you're free and clear to go to the second one and move on. That is what a first refusal. Now, keep in mind, if you take work on another job other than the first refusal, you will alienate and tick that casting director off, because now they got to go back and start a process of selecting who they want all over again. Don't do it. Stand by your commitment, stand by your status and your confirmation that you're available, okay? So have a little ethics. Look, there are a lot of things that are done to us as actors by casting by agents and productions and the unions and all that stuff. We have no control over what they do. But you do have control over what you do. And you need to have some integrity and some ethics as to how you conduct yourself as a professional. And so just understand that. Okay, so now while we're on the subject of casting directors, let's move forward. I'm going to do agents and managers probably next session, but right now I want to deal with casting directors. Listen, some people do not know the difference between a casting director and an agent or a manager. Quite a few years ago, 7, 8, 9 years ago, I ran some of these meet and greet seminars with a partner of mine. And we conducted them for a small group of actors, and we had some major casting people and agents, managers, and network people come in. So I kind of got an indication as to how all that works. Casting directors are the people that are going to offer you the job. Agents, when they bring you in, and they're going to say to you, what casting directors know you. And if you haven't met any or been had callbacks or bookings through casting directors, you really don't know them. And agents aren't going to want to invest their time and effort if you haven't made any of those inroads to the casting people. So your casting directors, for you people just starting out or don't have agents and really haven't worked much, you need to concentrate on knowing the casting directors and having them know you. So these meet and greets, if you're going to do them, I would suggest you do workshops with casting directors, not a meet and greet, because look, I'll be honest with you, there are a lot of industry people who do these seminars who really don't care. It's a payday. Some of them get paid well. Some of them make, they make an extra $400, $500, $600 a month doing these if they do 2 or 3 or 4 of them. So be careful. A workshop, they're working with you, they're seeing your progress, your understanding, you're being able to take direction. And if you need to do any of them, that's where you should put your dollars. Because these seminars, sometimes the casting director, and it happened to us when we were doing these meet and greets, they would commit to doing it, and then something came up and they couldn't the last day, the day before, and what they'll do is they'll ask anyone in their office to come in and do this, and sometimes they send an intern or some part-time person that comes in and goes through the motions. They can make a few dollars, and it keeps them, the casting director, in good terms with the person who's producing the one-on-one. So understand there's some value in it, but understand, what happens in the background of these. Now, a lot of these casting directors will honestly look to see new talent, and some of them just going through the motions, okay? So it's just like anything else in life. There are good and bad. There are people who take advantage. There are people who have responsibility. It happens in the industry with casting directors and agents, and it also, I hate to let you know, and I hate to say this, but it also holds true to the acting community, because some actors are some real SOBs in what they do and what they think they can get away with, okay? So it does, it's something that just, it's life. So a casting director is someone that's going to offer you the job. Now, in these seminars that I was conducting with some casting directors, I heard actors ask some of the strangest questions. We used to do a Q&A for 15 minutes and then a one-on-one. They would ask how much of a percentage or commission they would take. Casting directors do not take commissions. Casting directors should never ask for a fee to join their website or their book or be listed. They shouldn't do that, nor should agents or managers. Now, casting directors are sort of regulated by an organization called the Casting Society of America, which has a code of ethics. Most of the major casting directors will belong, you'll see CSA after their name. Some of the smaller ones won't, and they can get away with some stuff, and we've all gone through it. I've gone through it with casting directors, and you learn to weed through them and who to avoid and who not to avoid. But casting directors are the ones that are going to get you the job. You yourself will submit, or your agent or manager will submit. They're the ones that post the information. They're the ones that work for the producers or the ad agencies. So they're the ones that are going to reach out, bring you in, and possibly put you in a position where you can book work. Now, agents want to see that you've done that. So you don't want to put the horse before the cart before the horse, and go to agents without having a track record, or without having some relationships with casting directors. So casting directors should be your prime target if you're in that position where you're just starting to get out there and feel the weather the waters and whatnot. So casting directors are where you want to attack. Now you could send them headshots. You could follow up with postcards. Don't annoy them. Postcard them if you have something to say, and I'll get into mailings later on. So just keep that in mind. When we get to mailings, it'll all be self-evident as to why and how to approach it. But they need to have your headshot and resume before they know who you are. Now, you could send them information, but don't do it unsolicited. Don't just send reels and clips. They don't have time for it. They're busy. They're very, very busy. So you send your headshot when they have a break in time. They go through them, and they do go through them because they want to see new talent also. If they're really interested in what you've done, they see you have a nice resume, they are going to ask you for footage. Or if they put a casting ad out and you're submitted, they might ask for footage or clips or reel that you may have available to send them. So let's keep a distance and not overload them in the emails either, because your submissions to them are just going to log down. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people are going to do that. Their inbox will crash, and they won't like that. Okay, so honor what their needs and wants are. Okay, so breakdowns. I know that there's a small army out there. Believe me, I know. Everybody knows, agents know, casting knows, even the breakdown services know that there's this whole underground business of selling the breakdowns to the actors. Everybody thinks it's, I gotta get the breakdowns, I want the breakdowns. What are you gonna do with them? There's nothing you can do to help you. The only positive thing you can do with the breakdowns is gather information as to who's working on what and what the projects are that are coming in and how busy the industry is going to be in any given time. First of all, if you're getting them, you're paying them, and the only one that's really making out on it is the people who sell them, and they get them illegally somehow, some way. And it is illegal to sell the breakdowns. It's copyrighted. If you're selling them and you get caught, and there have been people, not a lot, but there have been people who've gotten caught and gotten into some legal problems, you can get arrested and sued, and it could cost you a great deal of money. Now, you're going to keep doing it anyway because it's very difficult to catch you. It's very difficult for agents and managers to get access to the breakdowns. Now, if you're getting those breakdowns under the table, you're getting them a day late and $1 short, because you're getting the accumulation in the morning of yesterday's work that has come out all through the day, that have been accumulated by this person and put together as a package and then sent to you in the morning. You're already a day late. Agents and managers have already submitted. They've already gotten, casting directors have already made calls. Now, here you go, you get this information, and you're going to do what? It's all through the system. It's all through, 99.99% of it's all through the breakdown system. There are no addresses, and there are no emails. In the old days, you were able to drop it off. You had a little inside stuff. You could drop it off. It's still late because you're still getting it a day late. But everything is done through the breakdown system. Now, you may think that you can find an address, drop it off, or mail it, but you're still a day late. And if you're mailing it, you're going to be 2 days late. Or you think you can email it. Yeah, I got the email address. I'll send it over. I'll submit myself. Do you know how crazy casting directors get like that sometimes on the breakdown it actually says no emails. They will be destroyed immediately. No actor submissions. They will not be looked at. It'll say it right there on the breakdown. So if hundreds and hundreds of people are emailing, you think they're going to look at your email? No, they're going to be so angry. And if you constantly do it, they'll remember you. It's just, as big as a business it is, that's how small the business it is. Don't do it. If it's only for your own information, that's fine. You might get away with some of this for the minor, non-union projects or the student films. You find out where to send them or whatever it might be, or the shorts. You might be able to get that. But for the major stuff and the major casting directors, you are getting yourself and asking for a lot of trouble. So please don't do that. It's not worth it. So we've covered a few things. We've covered the first refusal. Hopefully you understand that, okay? We've covered casting directors. Hopefully you got a better understanding as to who they are. Again, the workshops are the place to go. Stay away from the one-on-ones because sometimes they're with agents and other people and it gets crazy. They're seeing 40 and 50 people in a night, and the only people making money are the casting directors and the people who are running the seminars. Okay, they get tired at the end. Okay. The workshop is the place to go where they bring in maybe 8 to 10 people and they work scenes, they do camera stuff, and they can give you good critique as to what you're doing or not doing on camera. And then again, the breakdowns, people, please. I can't impress enough that, if they want you, the actor, I know what the actor says, well, maybe they'll see me, they'll like me. They don't want to see you if you're not represented. That's why they're doing the breakdowns. It costs a lot of money for agents and managers to get the breakdowns. I mean, it could cost $300-400 a month. And they don't want people getting that information and inconveniencing the casting directors. No, that the casting directors want that. If they want to see you the actor who is not represented by an agent or a manager, they will post on Actors Access, and they will post on casting networks and any of the other sites that reach the actor. You're doing yourself a disservice. Don't put yourself in a bad situation, okay? All right, so there we are. Next go round, we'll go to the agents and managers, and we'll try and give some insight as to what happens. Now, again, I have run a talent management company for 4 years recently, a mid to major talent management company. I ran all the finances and the daily activities, and I was not a manager, okay? So, but I did get an insight as to how they operate, and I spoke to them on a daily basis, the other managers, and figured out exactly their likes and dislikes. So I'm giving you this information firsthand. Doesn't mean every agency is like what I'm saying. No, it doesn't. It just means that that's one of them. And again, it's a 50-50 business. 50% are that way and 50% aren't. So all I can do is let you know what I know. So with that, I will conclude this long-winded preaching session of Acting Like a Business. And remember, you can go to YouTube, search Joseph Tudisco, Acting Like a Business. Go to my channel icon. You'll see it with the hat. I have the hat on, the black hat. You click that, it'll take you to all the previous sessions. And of course, if you want to shoot me some questions, you can go to the Facebook page, Acting Like a Business, and just send me a question. Maybe I'll spend a session on it. Maybe I'll do a whole session just on questions. If I have answers for you, I can give them to you. And that is a wrap.